Hi there. So, on the 14th of November, I went to see Feast of Wolves by Alan Burks and directed by Jeremy Wilhelm. It was performed at the Southern Theater right next door to my home, actually, and put on by the Workhaus Collective. Moving on to the plot, we're going to do this really quick because it's got a lot that happens that's not too important, in my opinion. The play centralizes on a family of manipulative individuals desperate for power. The father, Arthur, played by Terry Hempelman, is, as they say, the Minister of War, and strongly supports the war-centered world they live in. The mother, Charlotte, played by Charity Jones, is having an affair with her friend Izzy, played by Jason Rojas. The daughter, Ellie, played by Peggy Lamb, has, unbeknownst to her parents, also become sexually involved with Izzy. The family's son, Eric, played by Eric Wayman, returns home from war, clearly fulfilling the stereotype role of the young veteran with PTSD. That's how Act 1 ends. Act 2 opens by casually revealing that the father of the household, Arthur, was killed, most likely by his wife, which makes sense because it was the only thing Act 1 really set up. And I mean, really set up. The play moves on as Izzy tells Ellie that the only reason he had sex with her was to gain a position of power. Ellie then convinces her friend to beat her and proceeds to show her brother Eric the bruises, saying that Izzy did it to her. Eric runs off screaming randomly and kills Izzy. The play concludes with Charlotte comforting Eric before Ellie guides him into killing their mother. Eric runs off like an animal, and Ellie smiles menacingly at the audience before the lights go dark. Yeah. On their website, The Southern compares Feast of Wolves to modern war dramas such as Game of Thrones and states that the primary theme is an exploration of insatiable appetites for power and vengeance. It's blatantly clear how destructive the Wolfson family is as they touch on topics of patriarchy, war, veterans, dead siblings, friendly fire, the power of language, and rape, but the writing doesn't go much farther than that. Touching on all of these topics is well and good, but you need to do more than just surface work if you are going to discuss such topics as rape. In my opinion, writing was the main flaw in the show, actually. With monologue after monologue telling what the issue is, we never really get the chance to move deeper and reveal new understandings of these topics, because we never have any discussions or dialogues between the characters. It's just one character ranting after another and giving their point of view, telling us these things without changing. For example, a 15-minute scene involves Arthur ranting on and on to Izzy about how language is powerful. Now, he's also making some comments on war that are glazed over because the focus just keeps coming back to language. At first, as a writer, I was actually genuinely interested in the discussion, but it just went on and on without delving into anything new. Saying the same thing 10 times gets really boring unless you say it really fast. Furthermore, each character was written completely one-dimensional, with their sole goal and nothing else informing them, and really, The one good character was a reporter played by the very talented J. Owen Eisenberg. The reporter had playful, upbeat monologues that provided new insights into media, but even this character's writing falls short and falls completely apart, really, when it's suddenly suggested that this reporter is the ghost of Eric's twin sister Effie, who Eric accidentally shot and killed while in the war. But we never actually see the reporter again after this scene, so I guess it's not too important that the reporter is the ghost of Eric's sister. Finally, I have to talk about the blocking of the show. So the director clearly does not understand the concept of power dynamics in relation to blocking, because when Izzy is telling Ellie that he was using her, he takes the weakest position of kneeling on a bench while leaning on a table in front of him. It shrinks his entire body and puts him in a compromisable position where he's off balance and all of these things, and I have no idea how that's supposed to be an assertive pose. Furthermore, the lack of movement is really what's appalling. Seriously, there is so little movement that not only was it boring, but it was also just flat out unbelievable. You have a play that's based entirely on power dynamics and constantly changing of fighting for power, and you're going to direct it so that nobody moves, and that makes absolutely no sense. Here are some of the primary flaws I saw in the piece that I have to talk about. The patriarchy was hit so hard, but never dealt with or further developed after Arthur, the patriarchal figure of the entire piece, was killed. The daughter using false rape as an offensive tool to gain power was an interesting twist, but it's terrible when put in the context of our society, as it can support both victim blaming and false accusations of rape. The veteran with PTSD has become such a common stereotype in modern writing that to not do anything new with it at this point is just pointless and lazy. Using cliches for instant drama does absolutely nothing to provoke deep thought, and frankly, the entire play was comprised solely of cliches for instant drama. But apparently some people enjoyed it because the woman sitting in front of me felt connected enough to Eric to cry when he talked about shooting his sister. Mind you, that was the first thing we ever heard him talk about once he enters at the end of Act 1, so we actually have no emotional connection to him or any understanding of his character before that monologue. Ultimately, on a scale of 1 to 5, I'd give this play a 4. Thumbs down out of 5. The only things that were redeeming were the well-done technical designs, from set to lighting to sound, and J. Owen Eisenberg's performance of the reporter. Other than that, I would not recommend this show to any of my friends, and yeah.